Oh man, I am a retro game fan, which, for me growing up, it's tough calling these retro games, right? I guess it's like talking to your parents and they're like, oh, it's called classic rock now, huh? Back when I was a kid, it was just rock and roll. And now we call it classic. And now the games that I grew up playing, they're called retro games. That's where we're at now, right? I mean, oh, wow, what a concept. Anyway, what we have here, though, is a compilation, 2 actually, volumes 1 and 2, of Turrican. Now, Turrican is a set of retro games, a series that I'm actually not that familiar with. It's run and gun, but what I played so far of this, I like. There's a little bit of weirdness with these volumes here, and we'll get into that in just a second here. But first, we're going to cover what we got in these volumes here. So, in the first anthology, you have Turrican, Turrican 2, Super Turrican from the SNES. Turrican 1 and 2, I believe, are from the Amiga. Super Turrican from the SNES, Super Turrican Director's Cut, which is a interesting take. It's basically like, I guess, cut, scrap stuff from the original Super Turrican, stuff that was cut out of the game that they put back in, which is kind of cool to have that. And then they have a Mega Turrican Score Attack, okay? Now, before we actually jump into any of the actual games here, I want to show you what's in Volume 2. So, in Volume 2, you have the other set of Turrican games that are available, and it's for better or for worse. It's one of my big sticking points with these games, because these are great games. They're really fun. Like I said, I have no experience with these games whatsoever, but jumping into these, I was like, wow, these are a lot of fun. And I'm like, but there's 2 volumes. In Volume 2, we have Turrican 3, the Amiga version. You have Mega Turrican, which is Turrican on the Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. You have Mega Turrican Director's Cut, which, just like Super Turrican Director's Cut, it's, I think there's a stage added back into it, that kind of thing. Cut concepts and scraps and stuff like that added back to the game. And Super Turrican 2, which actually is pretty fun. I only played the first level of this one. I've only played the first level of all of these so far, but Super Turrican 2 feels a little bit more Contra-esque. It's a little bit more like, keep going to the right. There's like a cool Moon Patrol vehicle section too. But either way, both of these also feature a score attack for, I think the first anthology had Super Turrican Score Attack, and no, it was Mega Turrican Score Attack. Getting my Metroids mixed in here, which is weird because this one features Mega Turrican, but the Mega Turrican Score Attack is on the other anthology. I have a really big thing. I don't know if we want to call it a problem. I don't understand the 2 anthologies. Like, sure, there's a lot of Turrican here, but I don't know. Both. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. We're playing this on Switch here, and each anthology is $35 a piece. So if you want both anthologies, you want all the Turrican games, you're going to be spending $70 plus tax. And I don't know. To me, I'm like, couldn't you have put it all in one anthology and charge $60 for it? You know what I mean? I don't want to judge it too harshly because I'm sure they have their reasons, but I can't help but feel like sitting here that I'm like, is this a cash grab, right? I mean, you all tell me what you think in the comments, right? Why have 2 anthologies? Just have one nice anthology with all the games listed, $60. If you want to charge $60, there you go. People will either get it or they won't, But this, the fact that they, this one is the one that has Mega Turrican in it, so if you grew up with the Sega Genesis version, you're going to get this one, but the score attack for Mega Turrican's on the other one. So if you're that big of a Mega Turrican fan, you got to get both versions to get all the stuff. Same thing with Super Turrican, the first one, being on the first anthology, and then the score attack and the sequel, Super Turrican 2, being on this one. I'm just like, to me, the way they crossed these releases, to me, it feels very, very lame. It's very lame. Not to mention, too, that Turrican 3, I did some research because I played the first level of Turrican 3, and then I jumped into Mega Turrican, and I'm like, both of these are almost identical. And it turns out that Turrican 3 is the Amiga version, and Mega Turrican is basically just Turrican 3, but on the Sega Genesis. But, with the added Sega Genesis sound and colors and palettes and, that kind of thing. I don't know, man. I'm hot and cold on this because I think the games themselves are great. I think they're really good. But the way this is presented, the fact you got to pay $70 to get all the games, I don't know, man. Like, at the end of this month, we got, like, you know, the new, what is it, the Cowabunga collection coming from Ninja Turtles, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's got a lot of games on it for $40, right? And those are licensed games. Those are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. Like, in Super Turrican, I get it. It's a bit more niche. Like, a lot of people aren't going to know what this is. But again, if they want to charge $60 and put it all into one volume, like that, I don't know. To me, that makes a lot more sense. So, anyway, enough complaining, I suppose. I'll probably get into it a little bit more later. Why don't we cover the games here? You guys want to cover that? I want to get that out right off the bat, though, because I had to talk about it. It's something that was stuck in my craw with this game, or these games. Technically, it is too. And I just think it's super, super weird. Now, like I said, I haven't played much of the Turrican series. There's also some other stuff going on with it, which we'll talk about in a second here. Let's start with Turrican 1. We will jump right into my save state that I had here. And here we go. So this is the original Turrican on the Amiga. I am awful at this, just so you know. I thought I killed this guy already. Maybe I forgot to save. Well, that was quick. Or maybe there's a fist enemy in a another one of the Turricans. I don't know. So here you go. Yeah, this is Turrican. Run and gun. There's a bit more verticality to it than there is in Super Turrican 2, which is the one that I just got done playing a bit of. Oops, spikes there. On the bottom right, where my big fat head is, there's an energy meter there. And that will... Oh, you can see it went right down to red. Anytime it goes down, you die. And when you die, I thought this was a really cool quality of life thing that they introduced even back then. But you basically start from where you were. I think that that's super cool. You can do this cool rolly thing. So if you need to get through and collect some stuff or take out some enemies, you could do it. You could, as you can see, you could also shoot. In other versions of the Turrican games, you can also like lay bombs down, very Metroid style, which is cool. But getting up here is not going to be easy, is it? Yeah. One thing that is strange, like I have next to no experience with the Amiga. Like I did not grow up with that. I grew up with an NES. So playing this on the Amiga, or playing Amiga games is always interesting because my experience with the platform is null. But I gotta say, like pretty advanced. Like this is definitely better than you know what we were. Oh, there's a 1-up. Oh, water. Definitely more advanced than what was on the NES in certain aspects, right? I think once the NES was hitting its end of days, that's when they were releasing more games that kind of had this look and style to it. But in the beginning, NES was like very rudimentary. So this is really, really cool to see, actually, like how like all the colors and the animation and stuff like that. Jumping up this area kind of sucks. One of the other things too that I think is funny is that with jumping up here, not good. Oh, you can take these out. Okay, well that's good. Did not know that. Figured these things were just invincible, like Mario-style cannons. I find it funny that when you get hit, you basically don't see anything. You just hear like the kind of like sound. You see your energy bar go down. So it's interesting that the game, you know, the game's feedback for that is it's very, very different than what I would have expected. You know. Oh, we need to use this to its full potential. Get to pass the spikes. And then you get like these crazy dudes here with the grenade launchers who come after you. And as I said, I am not great at this. Again, it's my first time playing it, but I just sat here feeling like, man, I suck at these old Turrican Amiga games, man, that's for sure. Oh! But that is a death there. We are going to go ahead and at any point you can, you know, hit the minus button. You can go into, you know, save state. We won't save over mine, but, you know, if you want to go slot 2, boom, you can save at any point. Also, if you go back to the game and unpause, you can rewind. So if you guys are interested in playing games where you can rewind, oh, I died, I want to try this again. We're just going to run away from that guy. Nope, going to die. You can do that at any point, which is really nice. And of course, at any point, you can load that state right back up. And here we are. Very, very quick. You know, it's what you come to expect from compilations nowadays. Also, it comes with cheats installed, so you can add cheats in if you like, which is pretty cool. They also have the jukebox, so if you want to go in and play certain pieces of music, you know, if we want to play 1-3, there you go. It's like the old-fashioned sound test that you get from, you know, back in the day when you used to play on the Sega Genesis and stuff, which is really cool. And of course, the original manual for each one, each release. You know, you got your US, European, whatever you might want. We're actually going to close this one. We're going to jump into Turrican 2. We got a few games to cover, so we're going to jump in. Let's load my state. Oh, I didn't have one from Turrican 2. Okay, we'll start this one over. They also have different modes. You have standard mode, challenge mode. So if you want to play, you know, they offer you a lot of different options for the game, which is super cool. I like when they do that in compilations, you know, when they throw in different ways to play the game. You know, oh, here's a different mode. Here's a, you know, I like that stuff. Got an awesome load-in sequence there. You guys remember when games, like, you would just hit the button to start and they just throw you into the game? Do you remember that? That's what we're doing here. One of the other things I want to talk about, too, is that the main character from Super Turrican... Here we go, we can lay the bombs now in this one. One of the things I love about these games is the way the dude runs. Look at his, like, the way his shoulders kind of move. I love it. I love that. It's such a, to me, a very silly animation. I know he's supposed to be bad AF, but it just makes me mad that he's just like, I'm gonna take you monsters out. Oh, got some monsters stuck in the jam. Okay, we still got our laser here. There we go. I also like in Turrican, you know, like I said, my experience with this series is null. But I gotta say that I really like the variety of weapons in these games. You know, or rather, types of ammo, I guess. What are you collecting? Are you shooting it out of the same gun, or are you collecting a new gun? I don't know. But I like the weapons, I like the ammo, I like what they give you to kind of shoot with. You know, like this one is very unique. It's like, oh, bounce all over the place, you know, it's pretty cool. So with the Turrican series, from what I can tell, is like, you know, if you haven't played Turrican before, like I haven't, the best way I could sum it up is that, you know, if you like Contra, but you've always kind of wanted it to be like a little bit more like Metroid infused, like you wanted to have a little bit of verticality and climbing, you wanted there to be like different pathways to take, you know, a wider variety of monsters and that kind of thing, this might be the game for you. Or the games for you, I should say. I also like that the game will tell you where to go. Previously, see, it says exit here. Previously, like, I got to that part up there where the wind kind of blows you back, and I'm like, where am I supposed to go? What is happening? And then as soon as I doubled back a little bit, it was like, exit through here. I was like, oh, cool, they actually tell you where to go. Thank you. So I was like, do I need an ability that I haven't found yet? Is that what's happening? Could not figure it out for the life of me. Jump up here. Trying to remember where to go in this. I feel like I figured it out before. You get trapped right here, though. Ah! You also get this cool, like, screen thing that you see those waves go by. Yeah, you can use this at any point that you feel overwhelmed. Like, boom, right there. You just take out a bunch of enemies. I'm now out of them, though, unfortunately. We won't be able to use those anymore. Try to typically save those for bosses and stuff. Death. This puts us up and over through that little windy storm that we couldn't get through before, and now we'll fight a boss. Will I live? I think that's why I didn't have a save state for this one, because I'm pretty sure I died at this guy before. Go back and forth. Oh, he's jumping. We're good. Oh, jeez, he's gonna continuously shoot. We are losing energy like crazy. We're gonna use these. Oh! I just remembered we could use our bomb thing. I don't think it really did a whole lot to him. Oh! I did not kill this guy last time, but we got him this time. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Those, I gotta say, those little jumpy guys, oh my god, they frustrating. They just like come out of nowhere and come after you. I gotta power up. That puts my energy back at full, so I'll take it. I have no idea if I'm going the right way, and I didn't know I could do that. Oh my god, what is happening? This is awesome and also frightening at the same time. Wow, that was... that was cool. That was really cool. I kind of want to keep playing this one, guys, but I'm going to do a save state here because we had limited time. I don't want you guys sitting here for hours watching me play this. We're going to close this one, and we're going to jump to Super Turrican, which seems to be everybody's favorite in this series. So let's load our state from where we left off here. And here we are. As you can tell, this is the Super Nintendo version. The graphics are that much better already. And I think last I left off here, I was actually stuck down here and trying to figure out my way out. Whew. Look at that guy flash. It's tough on the ice, I gotta tell you. There was a power-up right there, too. That would have helped. So, yeah, it seems, and I don't know enough about this series to really talk to it, but it seems as though there is, like, kind of a... I don't know if it's a gray area controversy. Like I said, I don't know enough about it, but apparently there's a creator for Turrican who actually originally created Turrican on the Commodore 64. And then at some point, Factor 5, which is the team responsible for all of the games in this anthology, they started releasing Turrican games, I don't know, on their own? Is that how it worked? I'm not sure, but there basically was one guy who created the Turrican franchise on the Commodore 64. I don't know if he hired Factor 5 back in the day to, like, help out, and I have no idea. But either way, there are technically more versions of Turrican out there. So Turrican on the Amiga, we get a free guy, is not the only Turrican out there. And apparently there's other releases too. Like there's a version of Super Turrican on the NES as well. So there's other games in the series to play, which when you release an anthology of games, to me I'm like, even if you release like 2, volumes of it, I'm kind of sitting here like, well, what about those other games, right? I kind of want to see what those look like, how they play. So I'm kind of sitting here like, why aren't those included? Are those not included because we're going to be like Factor 5 games for whatever reason here? And why is that? I wish I knew. I don't have the answers for that. But we did get through this level, so that's a good thing. Oh, I didn't want to grab that one. I wanted my spread shot that I was using. Stupid. Did that drop another red one? It did. There we go. Some of the weapons in Super Turrican, I'm not the biggest fan of. The round ball one doesn't do much for me, I gotta tell you. But that is a brief look at Super Turrican. Again, another good one in the series. These are all, so far, I've had fun with all of them. We are not going to take a look at the score attack because basically, I can sum that up for you. It is the game, but in a gigantic level, and you have to jump around the level and take out enemies and collect things and try to get the highest score you can in, like, what was it, like 900 seconds or something like that. It's an immense amount of time. But it's cool. Like, if you are really into time attack stuff, or score attack, or whatever, I think you're going to dig it. So here's Turrican 3. We're going to start with this one. I actually have a save state for this, but we're going to start a brand new game. And I kind of want to show you how, because this really caught me off guard, that Turrican 3 is the same as Mega Turrican, just Mega Turrican has better graphics, better sound. So let's jump in, shall we? Look at this guy. It was prime for Amiga back then, though. And look, he's still got the same shoulder walk thing going on, which I love. So yeah, I started this one. I was like, this is cool. You know, this is already like a better looking game than what we got with with Turrican 1 and 2. Got a power up already. So I was already impressed. Like, okay, yeah, and this looks and plays really good on the Anthology. One of the things we haven't really gotten into, and I don't know which version of all the games that it's actually included in, but this one actually comes with a grappling hook, which it takes me a little bit to kind of get used to. So the grappling hook actually helps you reach areas that you couldn't reach before. So for instance, we can get up in here and get a free guy, which I thought was super cool. So far, I feel like the Mega Turrican and Turrican 3 games are also very good. Turrican 3 does the thing where like they are definitely having you go, you know, in a linear fashion through the level, but at the same time, like they do give you choices of ways to go, and that, you know, they did that in the other Turrican games as well. But what I thought was super cool in this one is that they require you to use your abilities more, like that hook shot that we have. Oh, jeez. I keep grabbing other things I don't want. But they give you a lot more options to use your grappling hook in here. They make it almost like a requirement to get certain things. So, like, for example, if we want to go up here and get this jewel, which I recommend going up there to avoid the fire and to get the extra points. Oh, jeez. I'm still trying to get good using this thing. And every time you miss, you got to, like, redo it. So it can be a little frustrating. There we go. Get up there. There we go. Okay, so there's fire all throughout this area here. We just got to avoid it. And then we get past here, and there's a chest. Oh, got the spread shot back. Good. Oh, I did not have a chance to go up there and get the thing. Okay, so here's the first boss battle of Turrican 3, which is a scary worm dude. The interesting thing about this, though, is that this guy just kind of goes in the same way the whole time. So he'll dip through there. Once you memorize the path, you go back through here again. So pretty easy to take out. So this is what I was talking about, the branching pathways, and they give you different ways to go. You can see there's a way to go through the bottom, or you can go up through the top. And I like that they give the player those options. I think that that's super cool, you know, for earlier game design to do that kind of stuff. Oh, I really don't want to grab that, but we'll continue on here for another minute or two, and then I want to show you Mega Turrican, because it is, like I said, there are a few changes here and there, but it is basically the same game. Can I jump? There we go. You grab that thing, it actually shoots like a little rocket around with your normal weapon, which is actually pretty helpful. It really helps with like these bigger guys. There we go. So you can see I'm not doing too bad here, you know? Not doing too bad. We are going to jump out, though. My save state actually takes us to level 2. But we're going to close this one, jump into Mega Turrican. Let's go check it out. So, like I said, this looks and plays very similar to Turrican 3. I was very shocked by that, jumping into this where I was like, Anthology 2, the first 2 games are the same game. Like, is that like... How do you get away with that? I mean, look, it's the same, virtually the same sprites in certain areas. You can tell that the aspect ratio is a bit different. The weapons are different. Music's different, obviously, because it's supposed to be the Genesis version. But look at this. It's the same game. Look, we even have the same area. Look, the same big enemy coming after us. Look, we got the grappling hook. And personally, as someone who grew up with an NES and then moved over to Sega Genesis, the sound of this one definitely is like a nostalgia hit for me, man. Like, I play this and then I'm like, wow, like this is just awesome because it's got those same Genesis bleeps and bloops, you know what I mean? The other thing that's interesting about the 2 games, though, is that the Sega Genesis version of the grappling hook is in my opinion, a better grappling hook, because it starts with him shooting up, because majority of the time, that's where I want to shoot. I want to shoot up. Oh, almost forgot. I want to use the... But you can still, you know, control the grappling hook this way. I think it's longer, too. Power up and that. Okay, cool. Look at this. We fall down here. Oh, and look who we're fighting again. And he goes in the exact same pattern. But I will say that I think the Amiga... Oop, stupid me. I think that the Amiga feedback for hitting an enemy is better than it is in this. They flash better. This one just kind of gives you that little tink sound, which is fine. But I do think that it's better in the other version. So here is the... Oh, that's death, by the way. Don't do that. But from here, you can shoot as the alternate way to go. You can kind of finagle here. Oh, and I got hit. You got to be quick, though. Come on, move over. I'm still, like I said, still getting my bearings straight with the grappling hook. There we go. And look at that. Like I said, really cool that they found a way to make branching paths like that. You can see we made it over to where we were previously. Oh, I want that. There we go. But yeah, it's always weird. Like, I think it's cool that they included both games, even though they're the same games, but it's weird that you pay $35 and both games are, like, I just feel like if people don't know any better, if they don't do their research on what these games are, you know, they're going to pay $35 for this and they're going to be like, oh, 3 and Mega are the same games. And I don't know, to me that just seems really strange. It's not that they're bad games, it's just that they're the same game, right? I'm going to take this guy out quick. It's taking my energy. Okay, we get energy back here. Oh, we got to collect the little gem things. But yeah, that is Mega Turrican. Also pretty fun, if you don't mind playing it again. All right, so Super Turrican 2. This is where, like I said, where I just left off. It looks like they have the wrong... Oh no, it just says Turrican on all of them. That's interesting. I was gonna say, it looks like they have the wrong logo on it, but it says Turrican 3 up top, and then it just says Turrican in the middle there. Huh, I did not notice that before. All right, let's load where I left off here. We will grab that missile. And we're just going to keep going with that. So far, Super Turrican 2 takes the cake for me just because the sprites, I feel like, are the best sprites. It's got that old school Sega Genesis soundboard. You know, I really dig that. And you can jump and use your... There we go, take this guy out with the missiles, little homing missiles. You could not previously jump. Ooh. No, it's not completely accurate still. You could not previously, in the other games, actually jump and use your grappling hook. In this one, you can. So that was one of my biggest pet peeves with those other games, was just like, okay, right now, for some reason, I cannot jump and use my grappling hook. Wow, this building is huge. A lot of robots. See, the music they have here playing in the background definitely takes me back to like playing like, you know, Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. Has that kind of feel to it. But yeah, so the grappling hook takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's still pretty cool. And you still have the ball rolling thing, so you can do that. Not a fan of this gun. I don't like that. Why do they make you get that? Okay, so now it's the same one. I don't want this one. Ah, give me a different gun. I don't want this one. Yeah, some enemies you can actually jump on their heads too, which I found weird. You can actually smush them and then take them out, which is kind of funny. Like very Goomba style. But yeah, as you can see, like, this game... definitely a bit more straightforward, a bit more linear. But I think that could be forgiven just because, like, I feel like overall it just feels like a better, like, higher quality game. Like I said, with the sound and the sprites and everything like that, it just... I don't know. it has a better feel to it. It feels more premium, we'll say. You know what I mean? Okay, so now we got the flamethrower. Oh, but you got to be good with that grappling hook. You got to make sure you are aiming correctly, because if you don't, you are falling down the hole, man. We'll get up this next building here, and then we'll probably call it here. I do like that they tell you where stuff is at. Whoops, the green one. That's a spread shot. That green one is a nice spread shot. I like that. What happened there? I thought I could grab the thing. Oh, wow. That's a good spot to end, I think. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a save state there at slot 2, and I will come back to that later. So yeah, guys, that is the Turrican Anthology Volumes 1 and 2. Again, I've already said it a lot of times during the video. I don't understand why it's got to be 2 games. I would have just made it 1 game and charged 60 bucks for it. I don't know where all the other games in the series are, why they're not a part of this. You know, I like the additions of like the director's cut and the score attack stuff in there. I think that's cool. You know, they one thing I didn't talk about either is that they do have an accomplishments set. So if you like getting achievements in games, they also have that. But these are available on the Switch right now. They are 35 bucks a piece. So if Anthology 1 or 2 look better to you, maybe start with one of them and then maybe you can get the other one later on. I don't know, whatever works for you guys here. But I don't know. Like I said, I just can't help but feel like this was kind of a mistake, you know, releasing it this way, splitting them up like this. So especially considering these are really good games. Like, I'm having fun playing these. It's a series I'm not very familiar with, and jumping into it for the first time playing them has been a lot of fun. But the fact that the entry, you know, the paywall for that is like so steep for both games, to me, just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. But guys, hey, I just want to say thank you for watching, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one.